My dear friends, let's give some tzedakah today, every day. Today, a somber day. We just heard the tragic news of how 6 innocent Jewish people, Israelis, Americans, whatever nationality, but they're all Jewish, and that's what they have in common. And that's the reason why they were murdered, for the one and only reason, because they're Jewish. And I shudder to think about the celebrations which are taking place in many a quarter. I overheard a question of one of my great-grandchildren, a 2.5-year-old, asking his daddy in Yiddish, and he says, Tati, der Eibishter hört sich nicht zu mir. God is not listening to me. Was? Why? He says, ich habe ihn gebeten, sollen aufhören regnen, und es regnet noch als. I asked him, she make to stop the rain, and it's still raining. Was? Hört sich nicht zu? Why isn't God listening? What an amazing question. A question we're all asking. I was impressed with the father's answer. And more than anything else, that the child understood it. And the father said, Hashem is listening to you, but he's not doing it exactly the way you think it needs to be done. Einmal entweder jetzt, einmal entweder wird du meinst später. Sometimes he responds right away, sometimes he responds in a way that you think it's late. Aber antwortet. He responds. Which brings to mind a beautiful thought I heard. An analogy, which maybe could put some perspective on all the suffering that's going on, and on the fact that we're still in exile. We were promised by the prophet of our generation that redemption is imminent. No. So here is a verse that says, Oitcho Hashem ki onafta bi. Oitcho Hashem, God, I thank you, ki onafta bi, because you have pained me. You made me hurting. What kind of statement is that? So the analogy is giving about this simple Jewish person walking on the road, schlepping his little package on his shoulder. And there the Baron drives by, sees this Yidel schlepping his little package. He jumps out of his carriage and he says, you stole my bag, my bag of gold that fell out of my wagon. You stole it. Where did you put it? This poor little Jew looks at him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And he starts viciously beating him and beating. Admit already. While he's beating, a person comes running after, says, Adoni HaPoretz, dear Baron, this fell out of your wagon. This must be yours. And there he sees his whole satchel of gold is there. Even this vicious Baron felt that he wronged the Jews for no reason. He brought him into his wagon, drove him to his home, bandaged him, took care of him, and then before he's letting him go, he says, what can I do for you to compensate for my vicious beatings? Let me go home. That would be the best thing that you can do for me. I want to do something. And he says, I counted. I lashed out on you 43 lashes. I wanted to see how stubborn you are. So for each one of those lashes, I'm going to give you a gold coin. Go home. He comes home bandaged, bruised. His wife looks at him and says, Was ist geschehen? What happened? And he tells her the story. And then when he tells her how the Baron gave him for every lash a gold coin, he starts bitterly crying. His wife looks at him and says, why are you crying now? Why didn't you cry when you told me how he was beating you, how he was hitting you, you felt in danger? Why, when he's compensating you, so to say, for all these beatings, now you're crying? Says, yeah, what a pity he didn't hit me a little bit more. It is painful. And why we're being hit, it is definitely a moment to scream to God, please Hashem, Ad Mosai, enough. But at the same time, we have to remember what his daddy is responding to his 2.5-year-old. God is listening. And he's responding the way he knows is the best. So, Ebishter, Hashem, we thank you. But at the same time, we're asking you, 43 beatings is enough. And we will not ask for any more. All thing we ask is, Moshiach now.